right, boys and girls, today we're going to read another story about a different habitat. Who can remember what habitat we read a story about before? Do you remember it had lots of water and my book had some, there was a shark and a dolphin. What was that habitat called? The ocean? Yep. So today we're going to read a story all about the forest. So the forest is a different habitat. So my story today is called Forest Adventure. Here we go. You be thinking about all these different animals that live in the forest. Ooh, look at this. In North American forests, many trees are evergreen, and what a lot of creatures live there waiting to be seen. What kind of creatures do we see? Black bears. Ooh, black bears are good at climbing. Just see how well they do. These bears are fetching insects and pine cone nuts to chew. Look at those black bears. So black bears live in the forest. Oh, moose. Moose like eating water plants. Their legs are long and thin. When it's time for feeding, they just go wading right in. Look at them walking right into that water. More forest animals. When skunks are feeling threatened, they shoot a smelly spray. The stink is so very strong, it drives most enemies away. And we've talked about that before. Those skunks, they spray a stinky, stinky smell that keeps anybody that wants to try to get them away. So skunk is another animal that lives in the forest. The graceful flying squirrel can float from tree to tree. Between its front and back legs are flaps for gliding. Can you see? Look at that flying squirrel. We don't have those here. That's kind of silly, isn't it? A flying squirrel, who knew? And they live in the forest. But look, the cougar's prowling. Keep quiet and stay well clear. Though strong and fierce, the cougar is shy and mainly preys on deer. Oh, that means that they usually only eat deer. And a deer is another animal that lives in the forest. So a cougar and a deer. The porcupine has sharp barbed quills that pierce fur or skin. Most animals can't pull them out once they're sticking in. Look at those quills. And we've talked about that because we talked about quill starts with the letter Q. Good job. Chipmunks love to nibble on a berry, nut, or seed. They have to sleep through winter, so in summertime, they feed. That's something else that we learned about, boys and girls, when we were in school. When an animal sleeps all winter long, what is that called? We talked about how a bear does that. We talked about how other animals, this was a chipmunk. Is that called hibernate? Remember our hibernation day? The long-eared owl has two big tufts of feathers on its head. At dusk, it swoops out hunting when it's ready to be fed. Wow, look at that owl. And an owl comes out at nighttime. He sleeps during the day when we're awake and comes out when we're sleeping at night. That's kind of silly. Our trip has shown us creatures in trees and on the ground. But if we take another look, which other animals can be found? Take a look. Do you see some other animals that maybe I didn't talk about that live in the forest? Ooh, there's all kinds. And here's another page that has extra animals that live in the forest. All right, boys and girls, another challenge for you. I'm going to have you draw a picture of a forest. Now, a forest has lots and lots of trees. Sometimes there's some water or a creek for the animals to drink out of, but it's lots of trees, lots of grass, maybe some dirt or some mud and some water. And then can you try to draw 3 different animals that live in the forest? Have fun. Talk to you soon.